Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel on what is the coldest day of the year so far. It is the 12th of December, and you can see the yard is white, frozen over. It's currently about -6 here in Devon, so we just turned up to work, getting a mix going on a Monday morning, making sure all the cows are all right. We've got the 155 on the wagon, just because Big Boots has been a bit of a temperamental pig about starting, and when it's cold it gets even worse. I'm just going to fire up Little Boots, which is our other 620. John will want to go bedding up straw in a minute, so we'll get that one nicely warmed up for him and going. I got the Manitou here. I'm going to go around picking up the dung that John scraped out. That's our first job. We let the hay mix, always put the hay mixing first, just so it's all shredded up for when we finish picking up dung. But let's see if this brute will start up. Just about got it going. I was thinking I'd fire it up and get it warm for you, but I didn't think you'd be 30 seconds. I thought you'd be another 5 minutes. That is all ice there.
Lovely.
Yeah, you might want a minute to warm up. Yeah. So I didn't think John would be quite so quick, but he's getting in there now. He put her outside, so thaw out a bit. The yard is just an absolute mat of black ice. It's going to be an interesting morning feeding up. Anyway, we'll take the bucket off here, put the spikes on, get a bale loaded for John, and then carry on with our morning routine. And how about that for a bucket of poo? Full to the brim. Cows are looking happy still. They won't care at all it's cold. They'll be far happier in the cold than they ever would be in the hot. As long as you give them some food. Keep my window up to keep the heat on in here. Right, what we do every morning is scrape these channels up to the concrete panel at the end, then come in with a bucket and pick it up, take it down to the midden. So that's what I'm doing now. John's just blowing out the radiator on the straw blower tractor because it's all bunged up, and then he'll come in here and bed these guys up, and then I'll feed them and they'll be well happy. Our cows get bedded every single day of the year. They are inside. Obviously when they're out they don't get bedded, but we don't scrimp on straw at all. So this shed here, we put 1 bale per each side, so 2 bales every morning in here, 2 bales in the bottom shed every morning. That way everything stays clean, dry and happy. So I'm just down at our beef shed, picking up the muck down here. But it's a Monday morning now, so what we do on a Monday is we clear out any food that's left along the feed fence. There wasn't hardly anything here, but we just get rid of everything that the cattle sort of pick out and chuck away that they don't want, little balls of rubbish and whatever. Again, the cattle in here, they'll be well happy in this weather, even though it's freezing outside. They've got their pens, they keep each other warm, and they generate a lot of heat, to the point where their water troughs here, none of these will freeze. There's enough heat around them, the water's warm enough that it won't freeze in here. So this is handy. We haven't got to go around fighting frozen pipes. You can see the steam coming off the backs of the cows. They're getting rid of the excess heat in their body. So on a Monday we do 2 mixes. We do a daily mix that we do for the cows every day, and then we also do a mix for the young stock, so they get fed Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. So now that I've finished picking up the muck, we'll go back and start chucking the grass in the wagon with the cow mix, with the hay that's been grinding itself up. Be so careful here because this is all just black ice. So. Right, we're on with loading the grass silage into the wagon now. So this is second cut silage from this year that we're feeding the cows. As I said in some of the previous videos, our cows at the moment are on their dry period, if you were looking at it from a dairy point of view. So they're in calf, calves are weaned off them. We don't want them producing any milk right now. They just need a very basic diet just to keep them maintained. So they're basically just getting grass, silage and hay and minerals. And then when it comes to calving time, we'll either put them onto some slightly better silage, either in the form of round bale or the other pick. Or some of the later ones, as they calve, they'll go straight out into onto grass, because that is really where they ought to be when they're calved. Right, we are now fully loaded. Just got a safety first, turn that one off, chuck the screen round, we'll go and feed all this out. I'll tell you what, fantastic decision to put the heater on in here. When I put the bales chopping, it is red hot. It's lovely. In fact, check it out. Probably wants a 4-wheel drive to get up this hill. Right. Get the juices flowing and get the feed going. Now, the main cow shed that I'm feeding here at the moment, known as the dairy shed, always like to feed it with the cows shut back, just because we can only just feed enough in the troughs here for a 24-hour period. So by tomorrow morning when I come back to feed it, we'll all be gone. And if the cows' heads are out and they're at it whilst we're trying to feed them, they end up just chucking it everywhere. Whereas when they're shut back, they can fill the trough right up an awful lot easier. Right, that is the main bulk of cows fed, so we'll go and start mixing up young stock feed. More time consuming because we've got to do some stuff with some bales, but I'll show you what we're doing and we'll get them fed. Got to be careful on this ice. Right, so the way it works now is John will always finish bedding up before I finish feeding, so he will open up for the cows once he's finished doing the bedding. We parked up ready to start the next load, so what we need to do is get a bale of hay down out of the hay shed. We normally chuck them on the floor there in front of the straw, pick them up to put them in the wagon with the bucket, and then I also need 2 of these bales off of this trailer. So this is first cut silage from up at some of our off ground, which the calves are doing really well on, so I need to undo a couple of those ropes, get 2 bales off, and then whilst the hay's chopping up, I'll undo all this and get them mixing as well. So hopefully you'll stick to there a minute. Also, I need to be around the other side. Rope's all frozen. Everything's frozen. Now, I'm sure -6 isn't actually that cold for a lot of people that are watching this in some of the areas that people farm, but they said on the radio just now it was -15 overnight in Scotland, so -6 here, you'd have Crawford out in his t-shirt and swimming shorts, but it's definitely cold enough for us. We're used to it being a little bit warmer, being a bit closer to the coast in the warm air, but right, let's get these bales loaded. Right, now I'm sticking you on the bucket whilst we put in the straight, so for heaven's sake, please hang on. I don't really want to lose a GoPro into the mixing wagon. Oh, I'm not sure this is a good idea. Right, so that's the straights in, that'll mix up for a bit. I'll go check out the bit of sugar beet I don't need, and then we'll put the grab back on, and then we'll just make it up to what we want to feed with pit silage. We'll feed it out, and that'll be the morning feeding done. Right, we're full, ready to go and feed. So our wagon, for anyone that's interested, is a Triolet 2-1600. Single axle, I think you can have it on a twin axle if you want. Belt on the front, homemade elevator on the side. Feeds 150 cows every day, no problem. If you were feeding any more than that, you probably want a bigger one. But does a really good job. We put some new knives in it beginning of this winter, just to chop the hay up a bit better. Seems to have worked very well. This is the control box for it. So this is the belt on and off. Speed of the belt, front door up and down. I'm not sure what this does. These are the only ones we use, and then this one with a white sticker on. There was a spare one. So when Craig and local engineer Mark made the side elevator, they plumbed it onto this switch. But yeah, it's simple enough to use. It does a really good job. Quite like it. Well, that's feeding done. I just realised I've left the door open on the front of the wagon, so I need to put some fuel in it after coffee anyway, so I need to remember to shut that door, otherwise when I start mixing stuff up tomorrow, there'll be food everywhere. Would you like to come out? Come on in. Put his jumper on because it's a bit chilly. Come on in, Dick. Coffee time. Fueling. See, it's cold this morning because the tank's all frosted up like. Subscribe. Right, so Monday morning jobs. Fill up the tractor with fuel. I'm going to go pull back the sheet on the silage pit because that one's doing. Might give everything a grease up. One of those days where just want to get all the cattle jobs done and out of the way, make sure everything's alright, and then do a bit of maintenance. That's what we normally do on a Monday. Right guys, so I'm down in the silage pit. I'm going to jump up and pull the sheet back. I won't bother showing you that because it's just me pulling back a bit of sheet, but one thing I do always do as well, we finish feeding for the morning, just have a tidy up of all the plastic we're using. So we've got bags here in the silage pits for plastic and net wrap. I find if they're in the silage pit with you here, you keep the place a lot tidier. We've got the pallets over there with the minerals and various things on. Again, because they're near the bag of plastic waste, we tend to tidy them up as we go along. I should hopefully be able to bring you some exciting news about this piece of equipment behind me here, the shear grab, very soon. But I don't want to say anything just yet. But yeah, that'll sort of finish off the video here for feeding this morning. Thank you very much for watching it. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, subscribing to the channel is free, doesn't cost you a penny, and it just means you'll get notified whenever I put up a new video. If you want to see a bit more of what goes on here at Rothamsted Research on a daily basis, then follow my Instagram, my Snapchat. The links are all in the description. There's also a link there to merch if you want any JM Farming merch. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you on another video very soon. Cheerio.
Like a truck